To understand the landmark case of Pierson v. Ray, we must first examine the legal foundation upon which it rests. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983. This pivotal statute, born out of the Civil Rights Act of 1871, was a direct response to one of the most turbulent and violent periods in American history. Commonly referred to as the Ku Klux Klan Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1871 was passed during the Reconstruction era to address rampant lawlessness and the failure of Southern states to protect Black Americans from organized racial violence. Paramilitary groups like the Klan operated with impunity, often with the passive approval or active participation of local officials. Section 1983 sought to pierce this veil of state-sanctioned terror. It declared that every person who, under color of state law, deprives another of constitutional rights shall be liable to the injured party. This broad and uncompromising language emphasized Congress's intent to provide a powerful federal remedy when state institutions failed to act, or worse, were complicit in civil rights violations. When Section 1983 was debated, Congress was acutely aware that this statute could hold state actors, including judges, personally liable for their misconduct. Opponents of the bill raised this exact concern. Legislators like Mr. Arthur of Kentucky, Senator Thurman, and Mr. Lewis voiced fears that judges would be unjustly exposed to civil liability and federal scrutiny for their rulings. But despite these objections, Congress made a deliberate choice. Lawmakers did not carve out any exceptions for judges. Instead, they reaffirmed the phrase "every person," signaling a conscious decision to include all state officials in the reach of this new civil rights mechanism. The goal was clear: no state actor, no matter how elevated, should be above accountability when constitutional rights were at stake. The legislative history leaves little doubt Congress intended Section 1983 to be a sweeping and potent remedy. It was designed not just to allow civil suits against rogue police officers or local officials, but also judges, should they participate in or enable constitutional violations. This context is essential when evaluating the evolution of judicial immunity. The doctrine that would later shield judges from liability was not written into the law by Congress. It was created by the courts, years later, as a matter of judicial policy. This development marked a profound departure from what the framers of the 1871 Act had envisioned. The case of Pierson v. Ray illustrates a broader tension in American legal history: the judiciary's power to interpret versus its inclination to reshape. When courts introduced immunities that effectively narrowed Section 1983's scope, they altered the balance Congress struck between individual rights and official protections. Understanding this historical and legal backdrop reminds us of the core purpose of Section 1983, ensuring that constitutional rights are not merely aspirational, but enforceable, even against the powerful.